time for the football preview with James Richardson, aka Johnny Ward. And I don't have Gazzetta dello Sport, but I do have a coffee, and I wish I was an Italian football journalist for much of my life. But this week, Adam Russell, the Shamrock Rovers are taking on AC Milan. AC Milan coming to Tala. I'm going to be one of the lucky people to be there. What sort of chance do they have?
First of all, Johnny, I want to congratulate you on your multitasking ability, being able to host the football show and do Eat Out to help out in the same morning. Big up to you for that one. As for Shamrock Rovers and AC Milan, I'm not sure about that one. I think it could be a long, long night for Shamrock. 25-1 in the betting at the minute. So if you do fancy them, there's some good value in there for you.
Yeah, well, it's 25-1 for me and a saver on the draw. Let's talk Gareth Bale. What is happening? Why does he think Spurs is a good move for him? Spurs, why do they think Gareth Bale is a good fit for them?
I think from his point of view, I think any of the sort of top 6 Premier League teams or the bigger teams in Europe is a great move for him at the minute at 31. He's obviously, I think they've removed all mention of him from the club website, from club social media, from the club shop.
They've airbrushed him from history.
Gareth Bale shirts are worth more than gold at the minute on the black market. So I think anywhere he can get a move to a big club, I think he'd be open to. There's obviously that sort of nostalgic element to a move back to Spurs. I think what's an interesting development, I spoke to the traders at Star this morning, and they've suspended betting on Gareth Bale's next club. They're pretty confident that he's going to be moving to Tottenham by the end of the transfer window. So an interesting development there. It'll also be really interesting to see if these rumours about Dele Alli moving in the other direction as kind of a paperweight for the deal. For me, I wouldn't be letting Ali go unless someone comes in with a big money offer, and I certainly wouldn't be letting him go to bring in a 31-year-old with Gareth Bale's injury record. So it's going to be interesting to see that one develop over the next few years.
For me, I just don't have any faith in Mourinho anymore as a coach. I think the modern game is sort of passing by, and you compare that to maybe Arteta, who's obviously been given a bit of time at Arsenal. They've started the season really well, and a fascinating game against West Ham, who did not start the season very well last weekend.
Yeah, the jury's still out on Mourinho. I think it's obviously it's a different project and a different job to that he's done at other clubs. So I think he needs time to rebuild that Pochettino squad. But it's going to certainly, jury's definitely still out. If you're interested in our first manager to be sacked market, there's been some money for Mourinho. He's moved in all the way from 20-1 into 7. So there's obviously a few people that think in a similar way to you that maybe he's past it. But as for West Ham Arsenal, I think it's going to be an interesting fixture. I really worry about West Ham. Obviously, they lost at the weekend to Newcastle, which would have been a game that they should have expected to win. Their fixture list really, really doesn't look friendly. In their next 6 games, they've got Wolves, they've got Arsenal this weekend, obviously, and then they've got Wolves, Leicester, Tottenham, Man City, and then Liverpool. So for me, it'd be a big surprise. If Moyes is not under considerable pressure by the end of October, then I'd be surprised. He's our current 2-1 favourite in the market for the first manager to be sacked. He's moved in slightly from 3s. Star Sports have laid some reasonably good money on him to be the first manager sacked. And with a run of games like that, you wouldn't be surprised if come the end of October, David Moyes is looking for a new job.
The Chelsea-Liverpool game is absolutely fascinating, and in the sense that Liverpool's defending against Leeds was kamikaze. It was like every time Leeds got the ball into their half, it looked like they might score. Chelsea weren't great against Brighton by all accounts, got done, and I would have found this game too difficult to price up, notwithstanding the fact there are no fans there.
Yeah, I think what will be interesting to see of Liverpool, if it was just, kind of a one-off, they're getting back into the swing of things, or whether Klopp has just released the handbrake on him a little bit this season. The pressure of winning that first title is obviously now gone. They've obviously won the Champions League. That he doesn't have that same pressure over him. So it'd be interesting to see
if he's released the handbrake, they're going to average like 17 goals per game.
Yeah, they might average about 9 goals a game conceded, but either way, I think obviously they did look a bit sloppy at the back. Van Dijk made his mistakes, so it'd be interesting to see how that develops over the course of the season. But it wouldn't surprise me if we end up sort of in a few weeks talking about comparing Liverpool to that team, not even from last season, from the season before, when they were much more free-flowing than they were last year. They scored a lot of goals. and they conceded a few more as a result. But it was really very exciting football to watch. So it'd be interesting to see if we can get that back.
It's interesting though. If there is a title challenge from outside the top two, I think this game will be intriguing. But let's talk pub quiz time. Now, you do love a good pub quiz.
I just love a good pub.
Well,
if there's a quiz on, then it's a bonus. But
it's not really. It's incidental.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This week Star Sports have kindly agreed to take on one of my pub quiz questions, and if you reply to a Star Sports tweet with the answer this week, there's a chance that you'll win a free bet. So, what more can you ask for, mate? So, obviously, Arsenal ended the first week of the season top of the table. It's been a while since we've seen Arsenal at the top of the table. Interestingly, only 2 teams have gone on to win the Premier League after leading the table following the first weekend of the season. And if you can tell me who both of those teams were and what year they won the league, then you can be in with a chance of winning a free bet this week. So the 2 teams in the Premier League era that have been top after match week 1 and have then gone on to win the Premier League.
And one of the prizes for next week will be having a pint with Adam Russell in a pub of his choice. But what is your nap of the week, young man?
So I watched Everton against Tottenham and I was impressed with what I saw. I obviously thought James Rodriguez played really well, but I was also really impressed with Alon, who they brought in from Napoli, who seems to be a really good ball-winning midfielder. Who's got an eye for a pass, can move the ball forward. I think that combination of James, Alan, Decore is going to be really strong for Everton this year. I think the main question for them is going to be do they have enough goals? Can Dominic Calvert-Lewin be the man to give them enough goals to kind of propel them into sort of 7th, 6th? But my nap for this week, I really fancy them. They've got West Brom at home, and I think Everton to beat West Brom to 0, 9-4. That's my nap for the week.
Fair shout as well. A dodgy enough start from West Brom. On their return to the Premier League, Adam, thank you very, very much for your erudite analysis as ever. And don't forget, 25-1 Shamrock Rovers.
Yeah, and thank you very much, Johnny, for wearing that hat.
Top man.